Hey everybody, coming back finally after quite a long hiatus here to take apart the new Ridgid Brushless Pruner. This is a kit, came with a battery and a charger, but we're going to take it apart and see what the inside of it is, see how cheap it is they made it, if it is made cheap. See, on the specs back here it's saying it'll cut 1.25 inches. Not real sure about that, but we will find out. And after I put it back together, we'll go give it a little try. So, let me open this up. The cheapo charger. Alright. Came with one of the new 2 amp hour batteries, the newer styles there. Put it in a little bag for one. That's interesting. And it's not as big as it looks on the trigger's nice and easy to pull. It's nice. It does feel hefty though. I wonder how this thing actually, the mechanism actually works on it. So it'll automatically open back up. And it's actually pretty quick. Yep, no problem with that. We'll try that more later on in the video. But let's take this thing apart and see what kind of gearing they have going on in there. And they put nice Torx security screws in it. That'd be fun. That's the right one. Alright. This thing definitely doesn't feel cheap. Of course it wasn't. It was kind of expensive. I think it was $240 for the battery, charger, and tool. Which for right now, I didn't see that you could buy a tool only. They're really trying to push some new batteries nowadays. I'm hoping this thing doesn't just fall to pieces once all the screws comes out. There will be a lot of pivot points, I imagine. Looks like they've got 3 machine screws up here, probably holding the mechanism together in the inside of the machine itself. But will it come apart with those still in there? That's the question. It does look like this is a singular piece. Let's try taking that off. Yeah, it is some kind of cover. Really nice long screws in it too. And what's behind door number 1? Alright. You get an idea how it works now. It's nice to see you've got metal gears in here. Tell. Not sure what kind of metal that is, but at least it's metal. I was happy to see that. Alright, let's finish taking this thing apart. Looks like that screw is going to have to come off. Bitty machine screw. One more screw hiding. Let's cut this thing open. Should have a knife around here. Can't tell. I think it actually separates. It does. I don't have to cut that. Alright. So they didn't put a label anywhere that you couldn't get to it. Alright, got some stiff wires down here at the bottom. That's interesting looking. Very interesting. Looks like the whole thing just pops out. Let's take out our middle screw here. See if we can get that off there. Alright. What do we have here? They staked in the TPU overmold in pretty good. Big beefy steaks. I don't see that coming off too easy. Alright. Now, back to the meat of the potatoes. So we're going to have a motor in here. Spins this. And it's nothing but a little tactile switch up here at the top. So you'll have some kind of circuitry in here to just and I would imagine it would do the same thing in an event if it was trying to cut something a little too ambitious for it. So I can't get that screw out because our blade's in the way. So screw that back in a little bit. Ah, I see. It's connected together. Okay. So, alright. I think I got it figured out. Pull a little C-clip and take this off. I'm not sure what this does yet. I'm sure I'll find out here momentarily when I try to spin this. That's to keep that from loosening up. So, get that out. Yes, I believe that is only a stop to keep everything nice and tight, which is good to see. Now, should be able to loosen this off. So that's why they have it. They didn't tighten this up too much to bind this up, so yeah. That's off. Be able to take this off. Alright. So that's how that goes all together. Give it to you nice and sharp. This doesn't look, this looks more like tool steel than not. Alright. So that's one piece there. Now, be able to remove this. Take out our lens. A little ka-chunk switch. Got it staked in, so I have to pull it straight out. There we go. Now, voila. So here's basically the whole mechanism. They could have made it a lot smaller, that's for sure. So we'll have a gear reduction in here. We'll spun the motor. to see what's up in here though. I can tell we got a sort of like an angle grinder. Got a nice little gear in there. But I want to see how they attach these two and see if it's repairable. Alright. Let's see what we got. And it's like a 1 or a 2-stage reduction. Not sure I want to pull all that out. Y'all know how a gear reduction works. By the way, good nice strong gears in there, which, yep, they just go up and turn this little guy. Turns this. Alright. So squeeze that back in there. Right to right there. Alright, well I'm going to put these screws back in. This is nothing but a gear reduction and a brushless motor apparently. It's definitely not their normal brushless motor that they put in all of their other power tools. Looks more off the shelf than that. Don't know if they were cheaping out or if this motor is plenty of torque for that application. I would assume it's enough torque if they built it that way, but we'll see here shortly when I go test this out on a couple different pieces of wood. See how it goes. I also like it's a full metal gear housing too. It's definitely not a cheap plastic gear housing. Seen that in a couple of different power tools. Alright. So we got, it's like a Hall effect sensor. It would probably read where the, we come down here. The thing's soldered really nice. It didn't really cheap out too much. It's nice though. Alright, well, there's not much to this thing as you can see. Basically a mini grinder that doesn't go nearly as many RPMs. Alright, now I gotta see if I can put this whole thing back together and remember how it went. should see this thing work with it open up, technically. So let's see how that looks. Yeah, we just hit our little safety switch. It is pretty snappy. I'll give it that. See, as soon as you let off the trigger, opens back up. I don't see this wearing down too quickly. Short of needing to sharpen your blade, which looks like you could even get a replacement blade with how that comes off. This thing looks like it would last a very long time. Got that little gabic on there. Without hurting my fingers. Ow. So it looks like they made it to where you can take your whole blade assembly off without actually taking this whole thing apart, which is nice. If you ever have to replace the blade or you want to take it off to sharpen it, it's not a problem. I doubt it's going to get dull super fast. No quicker than any other handheld snipper. But I got this specifically for my mother. She does a lot of gardening and she's getting to the age where she can't really grip some snippers at this point, so hopefully these will work out perfectly for her. Alright. Make sure we got it all back together correct. Alright. Some control to it. Whenever you let off the trigger, it opens up. Alright. Now we'll step outside and go try cutting some stuff. Okay, so I'm going out. I'm clipping up some limbs here. There's some of them that are a little too thick. Here's a crepe myrtle that I'm cutting up. The thing chops really fast. So it's kind of nice. It's a little snappier than you'd expect, and it handles bigger stuff than you would think it would. Right here I'm trying on something that's a little too big. As you can see, you can try a couple different times. It'll stop when it pushes as hard as it can. I sort of gave up on this one though. After so long, it wasn't going to go through it. But right here you can see where hitting it twice, it'll knock it right down. There's a little bit of oak. As you can see, slices through it no problem. I really do like this thing. It's extremely fast. It's going to be extremely useful from what I can see. I'm just going around cutting as many things as I can find, seeing what it would do. As you can see, that's a little too big. But eventually it will cut through it. It'll cut real close to things. You can get right up to the branches, cut them off smooth. Overall, I really do like this thing. It was very well put together. It's very comfortable to use. It's not too heavy. And it does what it says it's going to do. And if Ridgid is to be believed, it has a lifetime warranty as well. Yeah. You can see it struggles on some things, and I realized when I was through, this battery was actually almost dead. I did try putting in a 6 amp hour octane battery. It sounded different, as if it was moving a little faster, but it didn't make it any stronger. But I really do like this thing. And thank you so much for watching this video, and keep an eye out for some more coming out. If you liked it, go ahead, like, subscribe. Thank you much.